Hello, my name is Paul Mouginot and I'm the head of operations of the pricing department at VP, formerly Vente Privée. The use of data, and especially the use of technologies that make it possible to draw messages from data, is a practice that is spreading more and more in the industry and especially in fashion. The fascinating thing is to realize how a smart use of data can be executed at every step of a fashion brand's value chain. Let me give you 5 use cases to demonstrate just that. When looking for new inspiration, it is now possible not only to learn on historical data and inspiration and digest it, Pinterest has been doing it with AI since 2014, but it is now also possible to leverage on AI to create some kind of serendipity, new propositions that were never seen before. In artificial intelligence, there is a new field called GAN, Generative Adversarial Networks. Using GANs, it is now possible, for instance, to learn on a series of textile patterns and generate ones that were never seen before, but that have the taste of the original pattern. Following the steps of Yanis Xenakis and Vera Molnar, young artists are starting to leverage on these technologies, and I'm sure fashion designers will do too in the close future. In this case, the way we work with machines is a true collaboration, as they would propose several creative options, and we would choose one in the end. Secondly, when building the collection plan. This is often where a fashion company debuting in AI would start. Indeed, as there already have been accumulated product, pricing, stocks, client, payment, return data over their existence, companies have already a lot of sources to use for their analysis. However, only a few actually manage to create a true competitive advantage. Competitive advantage is the ability to transform AI projects from shining objects to business tools, increasing turnover, margin, or client retention and satisfaction. In these fields, projects are often easy to describe, such as I will use past performance data of my top-selling permanent products to improve the prices of the rest of the products. But since these projects are always strategic, they need a subtle mix of talent, business sense, and technical expertise that is difficult to find and acquire, even for the best companies. The best talent are often hybrid profiles that can combine, for instance, a strong mathematical experience and a passion for the fashion product. When launching production and managing logistics is a field where AI can have a strong impact. With the rise of digital native vertical brands, it is such a complex problem to remain competitive and cost-effective when you have production capacities, significant storage costs, and a physical distribution network. Because in front of you, there are no brands with none of that I would call, say, pure design studios. But even if an old brand should always try to make their cost as variable as possible, they should also leverage on their assets, and especially leverage on data to create new business lines or improve their cost structure. For example, if as a brand you created a cutting-edge logistics center for internal purpose, why not make it available to competitors with dedicated logistics software and dedicated rights to make sure it always works at full capacity? This is, of course, what Amazon does, but also very good companies in France, such as Groupe Beaumanoir, so it is possible. The idea is to slowly create microservices that correspond to small processes you have internally. Optimize them through data and AI, and make them available as a service. A kind of computer API, to use a computer software analogy. When dealing with sales is also one of the most mature applications of data and AI, since the advertisement business always led the way in the use of digital personalization. So many companies are already familiar with SEO, targeting, offer shuffling to propose the best product for a certain client typology. However, the next step in this field is refinement. Of course, clients are always demanding, but the real challenge is in segmentation. For instance, until now, marketing departments have often segmented their client by age, geography, number of purchases, etc., which are the common columns of their client database. But nowadays, good data and AI can help us identify client clusters, not based on their basic data anymore, but rather on their behavior. It doesn't matter anymore if you're 19 or 68 years old, but if you bought red roses twice in the previous weeks and sent it to the same address, you might be in love and might need a special offer on roses the next time, no? This doesn't look like rocket science, but achieving this level of personalization at this refinement level requires a lot of calculus power and talent. And lastly, a topic that is often neglected in customer-centric industries, it is when structuring a post-purchase strategy. After buying a product online, brands often lose touch with their customers, but the latter often check the delivery information to make sure the package will arrive on time and on quality. This is just an example of a missed refined communication opportunity for the brands who could provide delivery information as well as keep on projecting their image. A few companies are operating in this field, and this topic is skyrocketing in the marketing conferences. So data and AI can provide a significant competitive advantage to a fashion brand and provide a lot of refinement in many fields, but also require talent, technical expertise, and a strong business sense at the same time.